Hi, I'm Nancy McCocken, and welcome to Living Karma Yoga. Catherine Austin Woolley founded this program a few years ago and was the host for the episodes, most of the episodes. She moved to Fresno, California in October and asked me to take over some of her responsibilities, one of which is hosting this celebration of all that the yoga community has to offer, from asana, which is posture, to mantra and mudra, and we're going to talk about mudras today, to pranayama, which is breathing practices, to lifestyle and Ayurveda, diet, travel, and so very much more to help you take yoga off your mat. May these tools help you live a life of calm and peace, joy, prosperity, and abundance that we also truly deserve. Today I'm going to be talking about mudras, and the common pronunciation, and Debbie here, Debbie McElroy, one of my friends and one of our teacher trainees, is going to be demonstrating. So mudras is the normal pronunciation, but according to the online, which we all know online is correct, and also to the book that I've learned from and my teacher, it's pronounced mudra. It means in Sanskrit sign or seal, and it's any of a series of hand and or arm positions expressing an attitude or action of a deity, is what Joseph LePage, who I'm working from his book, Mudras for Healing and Transformation. And a deity isn't necessarily a god the way we think of it. But if you think about the way your emotions work through the body, and you think about, think about going into a room after people have just had a fight. There's an energy in there. And it's usually like, oh, I don't want to be there. Or when people are really happy, there's an energy there. So we think of deities as that energy field that expresses things. And in many systems of thought and many people's experiences, these energies exist independent of human beings and within human beings at the same time. So a deity is this energy field, and when we work with our hands, fingertips together, and fingers in relation to the body or arms in relation to the body, we invoke or we create or we invite very specific emotional responses or feeling states that, if we're tuned into it or energetically sensitive, that becomes kind of a state of mind. So in practice, a deity can be thought of as energy or a state of mind or an emotion. The use of mudras is a little known yogic practice in Hatha Yoga, in which energy and awareness are directed through specific placement of the fingers in relation to one another, in relation to the body. With mudras, we channel energy, and we can do this to balance, stimulate, and or relax, depending on what we need at any particular time. So our fingers have many nerve endings in them. They're some of the most sensitive places of our body. If you've ever stuck yourself with a needle or a pin or cut a fingertip or been stung by a honeybee or a wasp on the fingertips, you know that almost instantly everything goes because it's a really intense pain. And also there are meridians, acupuncture meridians, that and meridians in the yin or Taoist energetic system that begin and end in the hands, that go into the heart and the lungs, the pericardium, the intestines, the digestive system. So when we're touching the fingertips, and when we're touching the fingertips one to the other, and we're bringing the hands in particular relation to the body, we are actually changing the energy field, and if we're energetically sensitive, we can feel what those changes do, and we can be receptive to the changes not only in our mind but in our body. Mudras actually have the power to eliminate headaches, to help us create more balance, to help us feel less anxious, to bring energy to us. So what I would like to do today is lead you, and I'll be talking, and Debbie's going to be demonstrating the various mudras or hand positions, and share some of my very favorite mudras with you. So, Debbie, bring your fingertips together, all the fingertips and the thumb tips, as if you're holding a little energy ball. And you'll hold that right in front of your solar plexus with your middle finger pointing straight down. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then close your eyes and just notice what you're feeling. This is called Hakini Mudra. And it's especially helpful for instilling a sense of wholeness and integration. It also facilitates deep yogic breathing. It supports overall health and healing and enhances body awareness. Just relax the shoulders and breathe into it. Hakini is the goddess associated with the third eye center of inner wisdom. The third eye is, I liken it to the movie screen behind my forehead. This mudra supports the unfolding of wisdom in all dimensions of our being. And with all the fingertips together, we're balancing the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system and the meridians in the body and all of the chakras, the energy centers. So sit still and breathe deeply, and you at home too do this and just notice what you feel. You may notice that people who are in business, maybe conducting a meeting or speaking, do this instinctively, and I've had friends who said that whenever they were nervous, they automatically did this, and I think President Obama used to do this when he was speaking sometimes. So I welcome you to do it at home. And Debbie, relax your fingers, and what did you feel? Oh, you're not supposed to be talking, you're not mic'd. Never mind. Tell me what you felt, and I'll play. I'll convey it. She felt grounded and grounding. Okay, thank you. Oh well. The next mudra is called Bu, and I call it the peace symbol mudra. And so you'll hold your ring and pinky fingers together down with your thumb and make the peace symbol with the index fingers and middle finger. And then you bring your fingertips down to the earth. Close your eyes and notice what you're feeling, and you at home do that too. You can do this without being seated and without touching the floor, actually. I've recommended to people that they can do it even in the grocery store if they're feeling a little nervous, or if they're encountering something that, like they're walking down the street, they're encountering something that makes them feel a little bit anxious. Just do this and point the fingertips toward the earth. That brings the energy down into the feet and out of the head. Sometimes I'll do it when I feel lightheaded too. Bu means earth, and so Bu Mudra activates the earth element, supporting us in integrating all of its essential qualities, all the qualities of the earth. In this gesture, the body forms a mountain shape, naturally cultivating a sense of stability and grounding. So when we do this, there's this sense of a mountain, broad base. I think of it sort of as a triangle or a pyramid, broad base all the way up to the crown of the head. This is really a good hand position for cultivating a sense of stability both in body and in mind, strengthening your bones, and believe it or not, we can do things like that strengthen our bones. It facilitates optimal postural alignment, reduces blood pressure, cultivating grounding and embodiment, and supports the treatment of anxiety. So when you're feeling anxious, and I worked at an eating disorders clinic for a while, and I taught this to some of the students there, and they reported that it really did help when they were feeling anxious. So that's another one of the mudras. And go ahead and just release that mudra and relax. The next one of my favorites, I have 3 favorites that I'm going to teach you today, and then I'll also, if there's time, introduce some that for very specific ailments that are pretty common. Hridaya Mudra is next, and so the right hand comes to the heart and the left hand on top of it, and it's not the heart itself, but the sternum right above at the top, kind of to the center of the body. And this is the place that of the thymus gland. So this mudra is not only a gesture of speaking or seeking the spiritual heart, refuge in the spiritual heart, but it's also helpful for the immune system because the thymus gland is part of the immune system. It's good for releasing tension from the chest, and cultivating trust and emotional balance, in addition to seeking support of the divine in challenging times, however you define divine, just something beyond ourselves, and supporting the immune system. Hridaya, spelled Hridaya, means heart. And Hridaya Mudra cultivates a space of inner refuge in which we can turn to the divine for support and solace. It directs breath, awareness, and energy into the heart center, cultivating a sense of trust and safety and allowing us to acknowledge our feelings and explore all the dimensions of the challenging situation we're facing. So very often when I'm feeling like I really need a hug from somebody, but nobody else is around that I can ask to hug me, I put my hands here and it's, mom's back. I can feel really, really supported. And then if you're doing it at home, and Debbie too, breathe deeply into these hands that are with you always, the support. Eyes closed and just feel really, really, really loved. And release your arms, Debbie, and those of you at home. I've got a few more mudras to work with. And one is for back pain and health of the spine. Many of us have back pain in our lives. Various times, some of us have chronic back pain. So here, we're bringing the tips of the pinky fingers together. Well, first, the thumbs come in we call this ahimsa thumbs, or nonviolent thumbs, when we curl the fingers over the thumbs. And then we bring the pinky fingers together and extend the little fingers, hold the gesture below the navel, and rest your hands on your lap. So here you've got the pinky fingers coming together. Close your eyes and start to breathe. This releases tension from the back. It supports optimal posture. It provides a massaging effect for the area of the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And for a lot of us, tension in the back is a result of anxiety. And it's anxiety that we carry with us all the time and we're not even aware of. And that compresses the lower back and squeezes the adrenal glands and the kidneys and creates some adrenal exhaustion. So this is helpful and it reduces stress. Deep breathing, the shoulders go back and down. And Debbie, you look absolutely relaxed. It's beautiful. Nice smile on your little inner smile. And if you're not feeling this at home, know that there's nothing wrong with you. Not all mudras work for everybody. So the ones that work the best, I took a whole week's course in mudras. I've got a book that's got 108 or more mudras in it, and I use 3 or 4 in my daily life. So if you find one that's really useful, it's beautiful. The next mudra, go ahead and release your hands, is called Garuda Mudra, and it's the gesture of the eagle for the thyroid and health of the endocrine system. So here, the palms are facing each other, and you've got the right hand in front of the left, and the thumbs are being hooked. So it looks like eagle wings. This is one of my very, very favorites. And the hands are in front of the heart, right in front of the chest. Not at the chest, a few inches away. Relax the shoulders back and down with the elbows held slightly away from the body and the spine naturally aligned. So here, I think of the wings of an eagle carrying me into the atmosphere, and it makes me feel really lovely. But it also takes the energy up into the thyroid and the parathyroid gland, and helps the secretion for all of the endocrine glands. It aligns the cervical spine, supports the health of the throat and vocal cords, releases tension from the neck and jaw, which might be helpful for TMJ, and balances rest and activity. Some of us are always on the go, zoom, and we only know stop and go. Some of us only know rest. Both of those states are considered to be inertia, from one of Newton's physical laws. And so when we're zoom, 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 we need to learn how to rest. And when we're at rest, we need to learn to get up. And the balanced state of rest and alternating rest and activity is really where we're most productive. So we're not always at balancing, going at high speed. So tell me what you feel here.
A sense of an upward movement.
Upward movement, sense of feeling, yeah. And I really like this because I can actually feel the energy from my hands moving into my heart, and the energy from my heart moving to my hands and kind of bouncing back. So I've got this better sense of the heart energy that's always there. It's really lovely, one of my very favorite mudras. And the next one is called Vyana Vayu mudra. Vayu is movement in the body, and in Sanskrit, Vayu, Sanskrit mythology, Vayu was the wind god, and moving through anything, which is pretty appropriate for today. Sometimes while I'm here talking, I can hear the wind outside rattling through in the roof. So, but this is gesture for the nervous system, the all-pervading current of energy and movement in the body, various vayus, nervous system, digestive system, things like that. But the nervous system, the nervous energy is the primary vayu that we're working with. This is also helpful for persons with MS. And we have Mindy Eisenberg who works with us and held her MS program at Karma Yoga for a long time. I taught her this and she taught it to some of her students, and they found it extremely helpful. So here you're using, both hands are doing different things. So with your right hand, touch the tip of your thumb to the tip of your ring finger, like this. And the rest of the fingers go up. And for the left hand, touch the tip of the thumb to the tip of the middle finger. The other fingers are extended, and you're resting your hands on your thighs with the palms facing upward. You'll release the shoulders back and down again with the spine naturally aligned. Vyana Vayu, and Vayus are currents of energy in the body. Vyana is the all-pervading current of energy that moves from the center of the body to the extremities. So it goes from the central nervous system out into the extremities. It's also the energy that circulates foodstuff into the body. And so this mudra supports the free flow of blood and nerve impulses at a subtle energetic level. Vyana Vayu activates and balances this. The gesture directs breath and energy throughout the entire body, especially into the joints. It's necessary. It increases sensitivity within the extremities and is helpful for bringing warmth and energy to the hands and feet. This is particularly important for persons with multiple sclerosis. Okay. The mudra nourishes the Ayurvedic marmas, which are subtle energetic points located throughout the body. It enhances body awareness, both on the physical and subtle levels, and the combination of enhanced body awareness, sensitivity, and optimal flow of subtle energy is cultivated by Vyana Vayu mudra. It supports the health of the nervous system, as I've said, supports the health of the joints, improves circulation to the extremities, enhances body awareness, and promotes the free flow of energy within the body. I've got one more, maybe two, that I wanted to share. Okay, Vajra Pradama Mudra, a gesture of unshakable trust for depression. Many of us suffer from depression or have suffered from depression. I can't remember the statistics about how many people in the United States will have, or maybe around the world, will have had at least a temporary bout of depression in their lives. And depression is defined as something that lasts longer than about 3 months. Sorrow that you just can't shake. And depression is that state where you don't care about anything. You can't get up, anything that you used to like, you don't really want to do anymore. And we all have experienced at least temporary moments of that, I think. So here, we're interlacing all the fingers, the thumbs pull away, and the middle fingers, there's kind of a lattice work so that tips of the index fingers come together. And then it's about 1 hand's width away from the body, the chest. So you'd measure this way, and then bring your hands there. And again, you can feel the energy from the chest and the heart coming into the hands. Pull the thumbs away. Angle the fingers slightly upward, creating a small space between the webbing of the fingers, and relax the shoulders back and down with elbows slightly away from the body. The spine becomes naturally aligned. This supports the treatment of depression, releases constriction from the chest, ribs, and upper back, enhances self-trust and confidence, increases energy and enthusiasm, and enhances sensitivity to the qualities of the subtle heart. Yoga talks about the physiological heart, but there's a subtle heart too that lives inside of us. And if you're not kind of versed in subtle body understanding, just close your eyes and get some sense. You can feel the physical heart beating, but you can also feel that there's an energy in this area that is more refined maybe. You might think of it as more spiritual, more godlike. Anyway, it's just an energy that more deeply connected to our psychology, to our subconscious. And this is what this mudra cultivates. So it's reflecting the energy of the heart into the hands and the hands back with the fingers pointing up. We're directing the energy upward, and then the thumbs pulling away. The thumbs represent the spine, and that helps to direct energy up the spine and help us to sit up straighter. And when we sit up straighter, we're not slumped. When we're depressed and sad, we slump down. When we're a little bit more uplifted, we lift the spine and tuck the chin slightly. And you may think, oh, I'm too depressed even to do this. But if you are having a bout of depression, or you're just feeling a little sad, try this and see if it doesn't help. And like I said, not all mudras are good for all people, but one of these that I've shared with you might just be the pick-me-up that changes your day and changes your game in any particular day. So Debbie, bring your hands down. That's all that I'm going to share. It's a lot to share. Which was your favorite?
Hakini.
Hakini mudra. It's my favorite too. And this is what I do a lot in class. This is something that you can use to balance. And even though we're told that we could bring it in front of the solar plexus, which is really our power center in the body, I find that bringing it in front of my lower navel, which is the emotional center, the creative center, and it's the place where I have a lot of kind of weird energy sometimes, and conflicting energy, and sad energy, and confused energy. If I bring it down here, it feels really good. It helps with balancing postures and balancing poses. You can bring it in front of your heart, directing the middle finger outward, and that channels the energy out of the heart. And I've even seen people bring it above their heads as if it were a crown. Now, every time we move the energy in relation, the hands in relation to the body, we create a slightly different mudra. How does that feel? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Feels like you're actually connected to the higher realms. Okay, so I think we're done for the day. I hope that something that we've shared with you today has been helpful, has been fun to do. I really love doing this program, and I'm thankful to Catherine for asking me to do it, to Greg and everybody here at Bloomfield Community Television. And I would like to thank you, too, for joining us today, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. For more information on our schedule, Bloomfield Community Television schedule, or the schedule, go to Bloomfield website. But for our schedule at Karma Yoga, go to www.karma-yoga.net, and we very much look forward to seeing you in class. And namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
May the